My question today for Kyle Shanahan was about the run D. I said,
Mm.
Kyle, last couple of preseason games, you guys are giving up 6.5 a carry. It didn't look very good. Are you concerned? Is it something? Is it nothing? He actually went and said, well, if you're judging off of the preseason, it's an issue. And then he went on to say he didn't like the run D in the first preseason game against the Raiders either. But then he kind of went back and said, but there was a 75-yard run. And so the numbers look worse than they are. And there was a mobile quarterback that we didn't necessarily defend all that well. So it was almost like he was hedging. But you've been around him. I mean, does he have a legitimate concern about the run D, or is he not concerned? I mean, they got a great linebacking core.
Well, I think there's absolutely no concern when it comes to preseason games because I think they're a farce, and I think he
Sure.
knows that. So it's like you can throw out that you're giving out 10 yards a carry, and he wouldn't give a crap. I think, but you bring up the points of are they prone to giving up yards to a mobile quarterback still? That's been an Achilles heel for years for them,
Right.
right? And if you have a new safety that's going to come down to the box and Jair Brown to complement Hufanga if he's healthy, Gibson if he's still going, you've got to make sure you plug up those holes. But also that's why you got Javon Hargrave also to do that on the interior. Um, you got great linebackers, so I'm not that concerned at all about it. But the reason you have to, make sure that you have a good run defense is because it really does start with stopping the run, and you do that, and then like they got a great test in week 1, Larry, with Najee Harris,
Yeah.
and
And Jalen Warren as well.
yeah, but you have a young quarterback in Kenny Pickett, and the Steelers loved the preseason. Pickett was a perfect passer rating, and they went undefeated. But I'm telling you, the preseason doesn't matter. It really ratchets it up in such a different speed and intensity in the regular season. It's like Jair Brown's not going to be the last line of defense at safety. Actually, he wasn't. Who was it? Taylor Hawkins that gave up that 75-yard touchdown because he missed a tackle. He's not going to be in there. You're going to have all Pro Bowl quality safeties back there, and you're going to have Pro Bowl linebackers, Pro Bowl defensive front. So they've had really good run defenses over the last couple of years. I'm
Number
not concerned
one
about
last
that.
year. Number one.
I'm Larry. I'm more concerned about who's going to be playing in the slot because teams are going to attack the heck out of that, especially in week 2 when Cooper Kupp lines up. They're going to just try to go all out after whoever's playing the nickel. And I think it'll be Isaiah Oliver because I think you're going to keep Lenore on the outside. And Isaiah Oliver is getting paid what, 3 million guaranteed, so he's got to do it. And did you notice like the last week they kind of backtracked and tried to, oh no, we weren't saying he wasn't bad. We wanted us, look at other guys. What was the message to him saying, hey, you better step up because we do have other guys. And again, it was a preseason. Don't read too much into it. If they draft or they sign him for a lot of money, there's a reason, and they got to play him and see if he's worth it.
Yeah. Couple comments here in the chat. Cal's man says we're going to miss Jimmy Ward in the back end. We got this one from Tommy Huxley. He said Jimmy Ward was the eraser, baby.
Yeah,
Tommy
yeah.
says gonna miss him immensely. Let's talk about Isaiah Oliver for a second. They're talking about going dual slots, maybe Diamador Lenore against
Yeah.
the small, shifty guys, and maybe Oliver against some of the
Do
bigger
you buy
slot
that?
receivers.
I don't buy that.
I personally think that you just put your three best corners on the field. That's
Right.
my belief, and I think
Correct.
Lenore, Womack, and Mooney are their three best corners.
Mhm.
But they've sure gone to great efforts to talk up
Yeah.
Oliver in the last week, haven't they?
I think you also, but and you can have two nickelbacks when they're in 4 wide receiver sets, right? So that's where you're going to say, okay, Lenore's inside and Oliver's on the other guy, right? And then you could have Womack or Ambry on the outside. Um, the Steelers have a couple of decent receivers, but they'll figure this out. Again, it's going to be a lot easier if Nick Bosa is going out there and helping those guys, right?
Sure.
Because they all say it's the cornerback and the secondary is tied to the pass rush. So I always have doubts, Larry, about like just the pass defense, no matter what, just because I think, you might hit the quarterback wrong. You might have a pass interference penalty or a hold downfield. You might be 3rd and 15 and Patrick Mahomes whizzes one downfield, something crazy. Too soon to talk about that. But, uh, it, it's still an elite defense, and they basically do have a few new parts, and they got to see how those work. They need Dre Greenlaw healthy, and he hasn't been out there much in the last month. So there's things to watch.